Doing these simple things to your Pinterest profile can massively increase your views. I've worked with multiple accounts using this exact strategy, and all of them have come back and said that it not only massively improved their Pinterest account, but it also made them more excited to post as well. In today's video, I'm going to show you my process for auditing a Pinterest account profile. This is a service I launched a few months ago now, and my clients have been loving it. However, I wanted to give you a quick and easy look into exactly what I do every time I do this, so you can do it for your own profile if you want. So the first thing I do when I audit a Pinterest account is I give it a brief overview. I look at how many boards you have, how many pins are on each board, and the descriptions of each board. You can do this for your account too. And try to look at your account objectively, with fresh eyes, I guess you could say. Act as if this isn't your account and you are looking at this as an average Pinterest user potentially wanting to follow you. Ask yourself these questions. Does this account have a lot of valuable content? Is that valuable content relevant to me? Does this account look professional or branded in any way? If the answer is no to any of these questions, how can you fix it? Now, this isn't meant to bash you or be hard on yourself, anything like that. But you need to look at your account from an outside perspective as if you were a potential follower to see the potential issues with your account. There are a few things I see with every account I get hired to audit. Here are some common mistakes I see with my clients and what you can do to fix it. Mistake number one is not enough boards. If you are not getting a lot of Pinterest views, look at how many boards you actually have on your account. Typically, I either get accounts with under 10 boards, they have a lot of secret boards but not active boards, or they have so many group boards. I'm talking tons and tons of group boards. There's either one extreme or the other. And if you have that little content out, or you don't have a lot of things for people to see because all of your boards are secret, then of course you're not going to be getting that many Pinterest views. So create more boards for your account. And don't just make them any boards. They do still have to be intentional boards that are going to be useful for your audience. Keyword research is a big thing that we'll get into later, but it's something to think about when creating new boards. Each board can really be looked at as like an answer to a question. So what questions is your audience asking? For example, let's take a look at my account. And by no means is my account perfect, but here's what it looks like. I have a lot of boards, all with a lot of content on them. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have this many boards right off of the bat. I've had this account for over 2 years, so I have had a lot of time to put out a lot of content. You can start off with about 10 to 15 boards and always add more boards as you need them. Like this board that I've just added right here, YouTube beginner tips. I just recently started posting about YouTube beginner tips on my channel and I needed a board to put all of those pins, so I created this board here. You can see it only has 14 pins on it. All of these boards are answering at least one question that my audience is asking. So for example, blogging tips for beginners. I get asked a lot, how do you grow your blog? Blog post writing tips. I write a lot about how to write a blog post because that's what the questions people are asking. So what questions is your audience asking, and do you have a board on your Pinterest account where you can pin a bunch of answers to that question? The next mistake I see is pretty much the same thing. Not having enough pins, or no pinning schedule at all. The accounts that I tend to see have less than 10 pins on each board and never seem to be posting their own content, which obviously contributes to low clicks and views. So start posting more. This may seem obvious, but from what I've seen, it's apparently not. The biggest thing I get when I point this out to my clients is they don't have a lot of content to post yet, and their account is very new, which I get. But it doesn't have to look that way. This is why I always give the advice of pinning 10 to 15 pins to a board right after you create it, whether or not those pins happen to be yours. If we go back and look at my YouTube beginner tips board, you can see there's 14 pins on there. I've just recently started pinning. Only 2 of these pins are actually mine. I made sure to pin all of these pins on this board right as soon as I created it. When you go to create a board, Pinterest will actually ask you, do you want to add some content to this board? And they will give you a pop-up of pins that you can pin. So I just pin a couple pins from there, and then it looks like I actually have content on this board. Because it's going to take you time to fill up a board if you're spacing them out correctly. You also need to get yourself on a pinning schedule. If you are new and you don't have a lot of content yet, it's definitely okay to pin less in the beginning, but make sure you're still pinning. You can't get clicks to your blog if you don't actually post about it. Once I get a good overview of the account, I start working on the Pinterest doc that I give to all of my clients. I have a similar doc like this myself, the social media content calendar that I show all the time that's up available in my shop. But this is what I specifically give to my clients. It's a little bit pared down from that. But I usually get started going through the boards and keyword researching them and their descriptions. The way I normally do this is I start by looking up the board name. I'll search by boards on Pinterest and see what comes up. If I feel the need to, I will change the board name to be a better keyword researched version of that board name, but if not, I will leave it be. And then I will write as many keywords as I can in this section here for every single board, and then I will write the board description that includes those keywords here. If you want to learn more about Pinterest SEO, I do have a video on it. I will link it right up here if you're interested. Next, I will go to your blog and I will grab all of your blog posts. So I'll put the titles here, the links, and then I'm going to go through and keyword research all of the blog posts on your site using Pinterest, which I will put right here. I will also write out a list of boards that your blog posts can be pinned to. This makes it a lot easier than when you are going to pin, you just scrolling through that list to see which board you should be pinning to. I will put them as a list right here. So for example, this is what my social media content calendar looks like. This is a lot different than the keyword doc, but you can see I have my blog post, my links, and my boards here, and then my keywords for my specific blog post, just so you can see what it looks like filled out. Now that is it for the keyword doc. I also do leave a small tab in here for any other links that they have that they can add themselves. If they want to add affiliate links to pin to Pinterest or product links, they have that there. Once the keyword research doc is done, I will give that to the client so that they can use it and update it for any other blog posts that they have. And I find this to be really helpful. I use mine every single time I go to pin. That's why I like to give some out to clients. So if you want to create this for yourself, definitely recommend it. It's super worth it. But once I'm done with that, I will move on to creating board covers, because part of the package is also branding and doing board covers. Board covers is something that I really like to do because I find that it increases brand awareness and just makes your account look better, in my opinion, having it cohesive and branded. The best way to create a board cover is with Canva. I believe I did a video on it before, and if I did, I will link it up here as well or down below in the description if you want to see a full tutorial on how to do that. But here is a mini breakdown. So Pinterest board covers are 600 by 600. So you can go into Canva. I use the desktop version and go to create a design, custom size, 600 by 600. Create new design. And then you can go in here and do whatever you want for a board cover. For my clients, I will give them 2 to 3 board covers to choose from, and then whichever one they like is the one that I will put on all of their blog posts. I'll also give them access to this Canva file as well, so if they create new boards in the future, all of their boards can look cohesive. You can make your board covers as simplistic or complicated as possible. One of the guidelines that I have for creating board covers is it doesn't really matter if they're super fancy. They should just be easy to read, and I like to have photos in the back of mine, but you don't really have to do that either. I've created both for my clients. Really depends on what feel you're going for. So for me, I talk about multiple different types of topics on my blog and YouTube channel, so I switched up the picture for each kind of category. So for example, morning routines, daily healthy routines, self-improvement, stuff like that has this different photo, and if it is blogging related, it will have this type of photo. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that's just what I've done. Once I am done looking at your account, I'll give you a handful of templates to use that I have designed. I love doing this for clients because one of the biggest pain points is trying to come up with nice Pinterest templates that actually convert. So I give a head start by creating 7 to 10 different pin templates that you can use. And just like with the Canva board covers, I will give you access to that doc as well, so you can use it, change the pins up, do whatever you want with them. But I will also write out thoughts on your account. What I think you can do to improve, what I think is currently working, and what I think is not working, and give you a little bit of strategy and help moving forward. This is help tailored specifically to your account, which I think is pretty valuable. So that's what I do every single time I audit a Pinterest account, and that's exactly what you can do to audit your own account as well. It's obviously a little bit harder to audit your own account than it is for somebody else to do it looking at an outside perspective. So if you want me to do all this work for you, I will leave a link down below to my Pinterest audit services in the description. They're $50, and I think they're worth the money. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!